the eulogy. But let me say, really, as a national leader, he was a true statesman and a patriot, which has been heavily captured in the eulogy. Let me also say that as a national leader, he contributed a lot to many of the policies that we see today, what we see as the developments in Kenya today. Mr. Biwott has contributed in various ways through when he was cabinet minister for energy, where a lot has happened, and also at the treasury, as you have been told, he had a stint there, and he helped to create the external resource department, which is a very active department currently at the National Treasury, and we really pay tribute for that achievements. Of course, as a leader, a lot have been said by the politicians. Mr. Biwott was a true community leader. You've been told that he used to travel every weekend to the county, and I must say, in the county, two names were very common in him. He used to be called Maendeleo, and the other one, Karnet. For those who don't know what Karnet means, in English it means steal. I think that is even stronger than total man. Why he was called Maendeleo is because of the many development projects he initiated. The big one being on education. I think that was his passion. He did a lot in terms of building schools. You'll not be surprised why Elgeyo Marakwet is always among the top schools in Kenya. This is because of the contribution of the late Biwott, because of the infrastructure that he put in place. He laid the foundation, and I must say that if you go to Elgeyo Marakwet, his legacy can be seen very clearly in the area of education. And I'm very glad also the children of Biwott has taken up this as a legacy project. I'm aware that the family is supporting the cancer program, which is helping bright students to get to Ivy League universities in the US. And I think that is in line with the spirit of what the late Biwott stood for, and we really cherish that support and the lasting impact that this will have. So on a personal level, I will say that I knew Honorable Biwott as young as when I was in primary school. I used to study in a school called Flosper Primary, where Honorable Biwott had a lot of impact in that school. In 1979, when he was running for election, I got to know him. I was still very young. I knew him because my uncles were a big campaigner for Honorable Biwott, and that is how I started knowing him. And also, as a student at Flosper Primary, I used to be in the choir. I used to sing very well. And because those days, when we have leaders coming to the area, county, launching development projects, we used to go and sing. And the school that used to be picked to go and sing was Flosper Primary, and I used to be there. So we used to sing a lot for Honorable Biwott when he was launching the very many development projects in Elgeyo Marakwet County. Later on, of course, I got to know him again closer when I was in the University of Nairobi. Mr. Biwott was a big supporter of students at the university. I believe there are many university students who graduated around the early 90s and thereabouts, late 80s. And we used to have an association called KUSA, which he was very active in supporting. At one time, he took us to Tarakwel Gorge when it was being constructed. I remember those days, and I'm glad that Tarakwel now is one of the most reliable energy projects. It used to be called that time, I think, White Elephant, but that wasn't really the story. The energy minister is here, he can attest to that. So thank you very much for that big contribution. So at the university level, I must say that because of his passion of education, he made sure that every university students, when they are in holiday break, they go and teach at the schools that he had built, and he used to cater for their stipend. And I really want to thank the late Biwott for that big contribution. Later on, of course, when I became the CS National Treasury, I had a long engagement almost every weekend. Whenever I travel to Eldoret, I also get a chance to meet him in various places, mostly sometimes at the Eldoret Club. And we used to share a lot. What used to impress me was that he used to be very current in the affairs of the country. And I used to get surprised how he gets very well informed, and he used not to read a newspaper. I didn't see him reading a newspaper at any time, but I don't know how he used to really get very current that way. But really, I used to like the engagement. I used to like to hear about how we are doing as an economy, and I want to say that we shared a lot. We have lost one of the most influential, courageous, and profoundly good person that any of us will ever share time with in this country.